Ready? Good morning, Rabotai. Boker Tov to everybody. We're going to be dedicating the class for Refuah Shalema of Chacham Shimon Rafael Ba'adani Ben Haviva. Kadosh Baruch Hu should send him Refuah Shalema very soon. Amen. You know, this parasha that we're approaching, we're going to be learning about the dream of Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu is living his parents' house. Vayelech Harana, says the Torah. Vayivga b'makom vayalen sham ki ba hashemesh. He's going to sleep, and then he dreams the ladder that goes v'rosho magia hashamayma v'hine malachei Elokim olim v'yoredim bo. Interesting, just in parentheses, Chachamim are telling us that the ladder that he had in his dream was not a straight ladder. It wasn't straight going up. It was actually bending. Say Chachamim was bending, that in the middle of the ladder was getting into the height of Har Moriah, the place of the Beit HaMikdash. So I saw yesterday a nice chidush that says why the ladder was bending, why it wasn't straight, to teach you that when it comes to Torah and when it comes to good qualities, you cannot be standing on top of somebody else. Whenever you reach, whatever level you're reaching, if you're standing on top of somebody else, that's not a level. That's not Torah. Torah is to be able to grow, but at the same time you have your own spot. You're not on top of somebody else. You're not underneath of somebody else. You're having your own spot, and to be able to grow to the next level. That's a nice idea that I saw yesterday. But Rabotai, we find that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle. What was the miracle? Kfitzat derech, which means, that's right, that the distance got shorter to Yaakov Avinu. He realized, how come I pass next to the place where my parents, they prayed and I didn't stop, right? So then HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle. And he calls it that the Har Moriah will jump to him. That's how Rashi explains. The Ramban agrees and disagrees with Rashi, and he says no. Since when Hashem shortens the path, so he calls it that the place will come to you. It's the opposite. You come to the place, right? So the question is, why Rashi came with that idea that the place has to jump to you? Har Moriah had to jump to Yaakov Avinu. Why not the opposite? There was a great rabbi by name Rabbi Chaim Volozhin. Rabbi Chaim Volozhin was a huge Rosh Yeshiva. And Rabbi Chaim Volozhin had a lot of students. There was a man, a different rabbi. His name was Rabbi Eliyahu. This Rabbi Eliyahu didn't live in Volozhin, but he really wanted to learn Kabbalah by Rabbi Chaim Volozhin. So he says, you know what? I'm going to leave my house. I'm going to go for a couple of good months to learn with Rabbi Chaim Volozhin Kabbalah. That's my purpose. When this Rabbi Eliyahu got to Volozhin, and Rabbi Chaim realized that Rabbi Eliyahu is here, immediately he took one of his students. He told him, here, take the shas. Back then, to have a whole shas is not like today. How much can cost you a shas? Peanuts, nothing. Back then, to have a whole shas, it's a treasure. Says Rabbi Chaim Volozhin to one of his students, take the shas, run to the house where Rabbi Eliyahu is staying, and give him the whole shas, because Rabbi Eliyahu learns non-stop. Oh, okay. Rabbi Eliyahu had his room. He was learning day and night, and he was going to talk with Rabbi Chaim Volozhin to teach him a little bit of Kabbalah. He wanted to learn Kabbalah. The first day that Rabbi Eliyahu arrives, Rabbi Chaim starts talking about general things, no Torah, things that happen in the daily basis, and they go from one thing to another, and the conversation and the hour passes. And Rabbi Eliyahu sees that the hour passed and they didn't learn anything. Says, Chacham, we didn't learn anything. Says, come tomorrow. Okay. He came next day, and again, Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, again, same thing. Starts talking about random things, no learning. And Rabbi Eliyahu feels bad to stop the rabbi in the middle. Another hour have passed. Nothing. He says, come tomorrow as well. Rabotai, the story repeats himself for 2 weeks. Every time that the Rabbi Eliyahu was coming to learn with Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, Rabbi Chaim was talking about general stuff and Alamak. One day, he says, Faige, that's it. I can't anymore. So comes Rabbi Eliyahu to Rabbi Chaim Volozhin and he tells him, Chacham, Mechila, I'm going back to my house, to my city. He says, why are you going back? He says, the truth is, I wanted to stay longer, but I realized that we're not learning, so I'm going back. So Rabbi Chaim Volozhin told him, listen, it's very important that you should learn also by your own. There's a lot of sefarim of Kabbalah you can learn by your own. Says, Rabbi, I know but that I can learn by my own. But there are certain things that you cannot understand from the books. Says, you will learn, you will understand. Rabbi Eliyahu left the city of Volozhin and he went back to his house. He was, with a bad feeling that he wasn't able to learn with Rabbi Chaim. Rabbi, he gets back to his house and he started to learn whatever he could. And he opened up books of Kabbalah and slowly started to learn more and more until he realized that all what Rabbi Chaim Volozhin was talking to him were concepts in Kabbalah, were all examples in Kabbalah. And then he realized how tipesh he was to stop Rabbi Chaim Volozhin and to tell him, listen, I don't want to learn with you anymore. I don't want to talk to you. I'm wasting my time. At the Levaya of Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, Rabbi Eliyahu stood up and he said, how much I regret. But not realizing when I was back then, thinking that where the other one is holding, it's lower level than mine. He's talking to me about the general things. He's not even in my level, kivyachol. And then he realized that Rabbi Chaim Volozhin was much, much higher than him. And this is the example for the ladder that we spoke. Why the ladder? Each one of the steps was not one in front, one on top of the other. Because whenever you see somebody else, don't think for a moment that you're holding in a higher level than him. You have no idea. You have no idea how much that person knows and how much that person can teach you. And if it's not in Torah, it's in Midot Tovot. If it's not in Midot Tovot, it's in Derech Eretz. It's many, many different things. When it comes to Avodat Hashem, you have to see every single Jew that is having his own spot. There is nobody that is under you and nobody that is mamash above you. This is one thing, but I would like to add one more point. There was a yeshiva by name the Mir Yeshiva in Europe. The Mir Yeshiva. The Mir Yeshiva was one of the well-known yeshivot in the world. And there was a student in that yeshiva that it was a real matmid, a real serious guy, learning day and night, not wasting his time. Until one day, this matmid gets a letter, opens up the letter, and he reads that he's being called to the Polish army. Now, being called to the Polish army, being called to an army, it's not pleasant. But being called to the Polish army, especially when you want to learn Torah, doesn't go together. So he ran to his Rosh Yeshiva. Now, he was a very, strong boy. So immediately, they said, you're good for the army. He went to his Rosh Yeshiva, and he told him, Rabbi, what should I do? I don't want to go. He cried to the rabbi, I don't want to go. The rabbi, together with the other people, they tried, to help him. They realized that there is no way. Was a gezerah from Shamayim, this Bahor has to go to the army. He goes to the army. Before he goes to the army, the day before, with tears in his eyes, he comes to his Rebbe and he tells him, Rebbe, what's going to be with my learning? I love so much to learn. What's going to be with me? The Rebbe, with a large smile, tells him, Tzaddik, don't worry. You're not leaving the yeshiva. Maybe you're leaving the physical place, but I want you to go and to open up a branch of our yeshiva inside the army. You're going to be still one of the boys in the yeshiva, and guess what? I want to get from you every single day, like I'm asking from each one of the boys, I want to get from you a chidush every single week, chidush about the sugya that we're learning. Take your Gemara, learn at the time that you have opened, and I want you to send me a letter every week, chidush. You send me the chidushim once a month. I give you what we give to every single bahur. We send a nice amount of money, as an incentive. You will get that as well. You're going to open up a branch. Okay? The boy goes to the army. In the army, it's not a joke. You work hard. You barely have time. But the boy took upon himself the idea of opening up the branch. Every week, he was sending letters. And he was getting back the money with a nice letter of encouragement. Chazak Baruch, I love the chidush. He says one time, he sends his chidushim, no letter coming back. No money, no nothing. He said, it's weird. 1 week, nothing. 2 weeks. He says, you know what, they're going to send another chidush. And in the chidush, they're going to write down, Rabbi, maybe you didn't get my chidushim, my previous chidushim, because I didn't get the money. Then he gets back the letter. And the rabbi tells him in the letter, he says, Tzaddik, I get the chidushim and I didn't send the money. Because the chidushim that you have sent me are the same chidushim that you sent me a month ago. That's not our deal. Our deal is I want new things. You're learning strongly, you get. You're exactly like a boy in the yeshiva. You're in the right level, you get it. You're not getting it. Rabotai, the 2 years of the army have passed. And the boy came back to his yeshiva like he never left before. Why? Because he realized that even when you have to leave, if you decide to take the kedusha to you, if you decide to take the place together with you, you're going to remain at the same level. This is what happened by Yaakov Avinu, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're leaving now to Haran. You're leaving the yeshiva, you're leaving your parents' house, you're going to Lavan. Terrible situation. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is teaching him, but you can choose to take the place with you. I'm doing Kfitzat HaDerech. I'm taking Hara Moriah to you. To realize that if you will decide to take the Bet HaKnesset, the Kenis, the Bet Midrash together with you, you will not stop growing. But it's going to be the opposite. Your growth is going to be more and more. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.